I call this hearing to order. Today, the committee will hear testimony on the Environmental Protection Agency's work to protect the water we drink, the air we breathe, and the communities we call home. And it's my pleasure to welcome back to the committee Andrew Wheeler in his new role as Acting Administrator of the EPA. First, Mr. Wheeler, as you know, the way that this committee works, sometimes there are roll call votes. I understand there are 5 roll call votes starting at 11 this morning. So there'll be members coming and going during the hearing process. But so I appreciate your indulgence as we come in and out. Mr. Wheeler has served on this committee in a number of capacities, most recently as staff director. It's only fitting that our committee be the first that you testify before in your new role. Since President Trump has come to office, his administration has made it a priority to pursue policies that both protect the nation's environment and allow the economy to grow. Just last week, we saw how the administration's pro-growth and pro-jobs policies are leading to incredible economic growth. America's economy grew at an impressive 4.1%. Over the past year and a half, the Environmental Protection Agency has been busy rolling back punishing regulations that hurt the economy in my home state of Wyoming and communities across the country. Under the previous administration, the agency created broad and legally questionable regulation that punished the very communities EPA claimed to be protecting. The so-called Clean Power Plan would have cost Wyoming energy workers their jobs and closed power plants across the country. The Obama administration openly declared war on American coal and the workers who produce this critically important resource. The so-called Clean Power Plan wasn't just bad policy, it was illegal. 24 states, including Wyoming, filed suit to block this regulation. The Supreme Court has put the rule on hold because of the challenges. Under the leadership of President Trump, the EPA is now taking steps to undo this damaging rule. The agency held listening sessions in several different communities to hear feedback on how the regulation should be changed or withdrawn. One of those listening sessions took place in Campbell County, Wyoming, in the city of Gillette. Wyoming is the leading coal-producing state in the nation. The vast majority of the coal from the nation comes from Campbell County. America can't afford to leave its energy resources stranded in the ground. I'm thankful the EPA took the time to listen to all stakeholders and re-examine the agency's deeply flawed rule. It was an important example of Washington listening to the people of Wyoming. The administration has also taken major steps to revise the waters of the United States, or the WOTUS rule. This outrageous Obama-era rule would have put backyard ponds, puddles, and farm fields under Washington's control. Under that rule, the EPA told farmers and ranchers their irrigation ditches were considered navigable waters and would be regulated by the federal government. The consequences were staggering. The EPA threatened to fine one private landowner in Wyoming $75,000 a day. The crime he committed was digging a stock pond in his backyard. This past January, the EPA delayed the implementation date of this devastating rule. This delay gives the agency time to revise it. EPA should not punish our ranchers or farmers for managing their land. They must replace the WOTUS rule with common sense policy that protects America's waters and respects states and local authorities. The agency has also taken important steps to protect small refineries in Wyoming and across the country. I applaud the Trump administration for rejecting efforts to undermine the ability of small refineries to obtain hardship relief under the renewable fuel standards of the RFS. During the Obama administration, EPA frequently ignored the law, which requires EPA to grant relief to small refineries suffering economic hardship under RSF. Since then, 2 federal appeals courts have rebuked the agency for decisions denying hardship relief to small refineries. EPA must not take any action that would limit the ability of small refineries to obtain hardship relief, restrict when small refineries can apply for hardship relief, disclose the confidential business information of small refineries, or increase the burdens on other refineries. Taking any of these steps would only compound the problems that this broken program has created for American refineries and their workers. So I look forward to hearing more about what the agency is doing to protect the people of Wyoming and America, to keep our environment clean, and to support the nation's growing economy. Acting Administrator Wheeler, thank you for taking the time to come testify today. Thank you for making the Senate Environment and Public Works Committee your first stop on Capitol Hill.